So this is an example of a fitting that's really, really good. Like very minimal adjustments needed from the try-on to the final, but it shows you how much detail we put into it because we still made quite a few changes from here, right? So if we're looking at the front picture, the first thing we always look at is the collar of the jacket. It's the most important part of the jacket is the collar, and that's the part that sits right on the back of the neck, right? So if you look on his left shoulder, like near the collarbone, there's like a lift. See how it's like popped out? He's got this like bow in the lapel. That's because the collar's too big for his neck, so there's like some hang time there. So what we'll do is we'll shrink the collar in the back, and that'll tighten up the lapels so there's less gap between the two lapels around his chest. That's the first thing I'm seeing right away. Second thing I'm seeing is these little like lips on the shoulders. You see that there? It's like lifted up a little bit. It's super minor, but we'll actually extend the shoulder a little bit because it's a little small for his delts, and then we'll slope the shoulder hair because it's like lifting up and it needs to come down onto his arm there. Left sleeve is too short compared to the right. I think the right's perfect. Seeing a little flare in the wrist, so might take the wrist and a hair. Jacket length is perfect. Button stance could come down a hair, but looks really good. The button stance is the smallest part of the jacket, and you want it to sync up with the smallest part of the body. Right now, it's kind of at the bottom of his ribs because he's got a flat stomach. If we brought it down a little bit, you'll get a little more of that nice, like, curved taper line on the sides, and that looks really attractive on a guy. So if we look at the back now, again, excellent. Like, this is really what we shoot for. When I see a fitting like this, that means the data we use for the try-ons is working, is really good. Again, we see the sloping shoulders, but virtually a perfectly clean back. Maybe a little sleeve rotation. You're seeing a little breaking on the back of the sleeve, but this is a home run. This is like, we know that the final garment's going to be fantastic. There's not going to be any alterations needed. And he'll be pretty much locked in for anything he wants to buy. It's all going to fit him, close to perfect. So length of jacket looks great. We shoot for just covering the butt cheeks with the jacket, and that looks just about right. You can see actually we have those little hash marks. Those are 1-inch marks that the factory puts in, so we can get a scale. If we wanted to shorten it a ½ inch, we would kind of know where that lands. But ultimately, man, if every try-on fit this well, that would be a home run.